to another episode of Woman to Woman. Of course, do apologize for being behind time, but we are here right now to get this started and let's go. Okay, for today's topic actually is empowering women through side hustles. Of course, we're actually going to navigate the economic downsides to our country, Nigeria. We can't deny the fact that we all need to do something, but today is basically for our women, how to empower them. And I'm not going to do this alone. I have with me a beautiful guest in the house, Chinere. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Okay. She is actually a producer and entrepreneur. So, of course, she can give us insights on how we can actually navigate these matters, right?
I'll try my best.
Okay. So let's just get started. We don't need to waste time because time is already fast spent.
All right.
So currently, why are women actually now going to side hustles?
Yes, it's not far from the truth. It's basically finance.
Finance.
To support their families and themselves. Because once you are married, one thing I always tell people is that people don't think about marriage deeply before going into it.
Okay.
Because it's a man and a woman coming together. You can take care of yourselves. But once you are married, your family and your in-laws' families becomes your responsibilities.
Okay.
And you have children. So you definitely have more mouths to feed than feeding only you, taking care of only yourself or your spouse. So the woman or the women need to get a skill before going into marriage.
Even before going to marriage?
Yes, you need to have something, not just I'm working or I'm doing this. Salary job cannot help you most times in marriage, especially in this time of our economy that is taking, whether a U-turn or a V-turn, I don't know which turn is taking
what
at
one
this
is
point.
taking to?
But the truth is that many families are suffering. So at that point, the woman who is a helpmate needs to get
something doing.
Something doing. In fact, she has to work. Most of us will work 24 hours a day. No rest. Even while you are sleeping, you can't sleep. You are thinking.
You're thinking.
Of how school fees, very soon rent, this, that. So the women, most times, go out of their way. Okay. Women are the ones carrying marriages. Whether you are married to a rich man or a poor man.
It doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter. The women are the ones that are the foundation of marriage. So the major reason why they have side hustles is because of financial stability, freedom, financial freedom. They need to be free from begging.
Begging?
Begging.
How does begging come there? How does that enter?
Because when you have challenges in your home, it bothers the women a lot. At that point, you see the woman going to the family, to her own family, or to the in-laws' family, or to friends. I've not paid my children's school fees. I've not paid this. I've not paid that. So for you to run away from all this, you need to be strong as a woman. You need to get something aside. You need to have skill. You need to have a lot of things. And I normally tell people, to get a side hustle is very simple.
Is it very simple?
It's very simple. Look around your environment. When you look around your environment, look for a need that no one is touching. Like you just wake up in the morning and you find out that you can't find anywhere around you to buy tomatoes. Or you can't find anywhere around you to make your hair. Or you can't find anywhere close to you to do 1, 2, 3. That's a business for you. That particular thing you are looking for, and nobody is offering it in your area.
You can actually offer it.
It's a business. So once you start fulfilling a need, you start making money. I used to tell people that making money seems to me the easiest thing.
I don't think it's that easy to make money, especially in this economy.
You just have to think. Think outside the box.
Think outside the box.
Don't do, I want to do boutique. I want to sell clothes because
Yeah.
Mama Nkechi is selling clothes. I want to sell crayfish because Mama Nkechi is selling clothes. The only thing you get there is envy and jealousy. Look for other things that people around you are not doing. I used to tell people that there is ability in your disability.
Come again?
There is ability in your
disability.
disability. Yes. I use deaf and dumb people as example. Maybe you are born deaf and dumb, and you happen to be born in a wealthy home or average home. They sent you to school. You've learned sign language from school. Not every home can afford it to send their children to school. You can start up with those deaf and dumb children. Start teaching them. Start teaching them sign languages. You can do it online. You can do it offline. But most side hustles these days we leverage on the internet.
True.
To get ourselves out there, tell people what we do.
What we do.
So that's it. As a woman, if you have a girl child, you don't push a girl child to go and get married without a skill, without something tangible.
You mentioned saying that it's important to know what to do and something, know a skill, learn a skill before marriage. But what if in the case where I'm already in the marriage, let's say I've given birth to 3 kids already, I'm in my late 50s, for example, I'm in my late 50s right now, but let's say I'm in that shoe.
Okay.
Does that stop me from actually having a side hustle?
No.
Does that stop me from
In fact, you are the one that needed it most. You need it most because you already have problems. I used to tell people that, yes, I'm a Christian, and a lot of us are, even the Muslims. We believe children are gifts from God.
They are, definitely.
But I beg to differ. I understand that part, that blessings from God. But at the same time, I tell people, God created us here. We procreate to help humanity continue, move on. Right?
Right.
You are not just giving birth for yourself. You can't own a human being. So I used to tell people, if you don't have money, why bringing out these children to suffer? I see children on the road begging. They say it's God that trains children. Huh? Really? How can you say a thing like that? You need to have something doing. You need to have something doing for you to be able to have to procreate. Because we talk about the environment, cult, this, that.
So many things.
Kidnappers, all of those things. What is the major cause of it? When you give birth to children and you don't train them properly. You don't give them a skill. How can you give birth to a child and you don't give them a skill? You just let them out to the society just like that. How are they going to survive? For me and you that are educated, we went to universities or school. It's hard for us.
Not going to deny that.
At some point I was like, my father said I shouldn't go to school, that women are not meant to go to school. So at some point I began to ask myself, where would I have been if I didn't go to school? I've been to school. It's hard for me to survive. I'm just surviving. You understand? Now, how hard is it for people that never went to school? Now, somebody will say that God gives children. I agree, because we don't know how it happens most times. But then, there is still a way you can cut out some things and accept to have one or two, or not having at all. To have children is not meant for everybody. You cannot be handicapped and you are bringing out another person that will be handicapped again. Who will feed them? So, as a woman that has children, let me not deviate from the point. Look around you. Like I said before, that one is for them. Look around you. There must be a need you need to fulfill in your community. Start what some people, when we were in school, we used to wash our fellow students' clothes. You are fulfilling a need.
Business already.
You have started a business. They are paying you small, and you are making.
So the side hustle doesn't always have to be so big of a deal.
No, it doesn't have to be. You are struggling. What pushed you to that particular thing is lack of money. Where will you now get money to start renting a shop, furnishing a boutique, a salon, and all of those things. You can't. You don't even have it. You are eating from hand to mouth, and you want to start. Just start from, assuming the person has a skill like braiding of hair. You can start making your neighbor's hair. Going around telling them, I can do this. Once you do 1 and 2, and everybody can see it's fine, it's properly done. Well. And if people in the salon that are charging 20,000, you are charging 5,000, 10,000, which is a whole lot for you. It's a lot of money for you. Before you play 3 people in a day, you have gotten 15 or 20,000. Tell me how many people that goes to white collar job that collects 20,000 in a day?
That's interesting. That's very, very interesting. Well, in the process of all this, in actually learning the skill and having something to do, in fulfilling maybe the needs of the community, like you mentioned, saying, for example, there's no tomatoes in the house, and you say, okay, it's my community, who is selling, there's nobody selling, and you start something. Would you say there are no challenges to actually starting a side hustle, a side job, something to do, a skill? Are there no challenges that we face? Because like you mentioned, even saying that, for example, you said your daddy didn't want you to go to school. But you actually put your head in, actually, drive yourself forward to go to school, to do what you needed to do. Definitely, you face challenges, right? So what kind of challenge will a woman face who doesn't, let's say she doesn't have that much to start up? What kind of challenges will she face?
Yes, number one challenge is still finance.
Still finance.
When you don't have a skill. Because if you want to sell tomato, a carton of tomato now, I don't know how many thousand, maybe it's 40,000 or 60,000.
Thereabout.
So you need 60,000 to start up. If you don't have 60,000, there is no way you will start tomato business. It's not possible.
Okay.
So it's finance. And then some husbands are difficult. So as a woman, you also have to know how to talk to your husband.
To your husband.
Some women, the approach is where the problem lies.
True.
You are not giving me money. Don't go and tell your husband that you are starting up a business because he's not giving you enough.
There will be a problem, isn't there?
There will be a very big problem.
Oh, wow.
Start by telling him that you want to help him, that you don't like the way he's struggling alone. You understand me?
I think that's where we're actually blessed, because we have a way with words. We have a way, women especially, we have a way with words, how to talk to people and get what we want. So I think I understand where you're coming from, saying that in talking to your husband in a way that he may actually agree and support you. You've mentioned saying finance sometimes can be a challenge. Having a difficult partner too can be a challenge. What other challenges can there be there?
Another challenge is how do you generate your client?
How do you generate
your client? If you buy a carton of tomato, if you don't sell it between today and tomorrow, they will spoil.
Definitely.
So that's another challenge. So I think if you are interested in some kind of business, mentorship, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to pay money for mentorship. You can go close to people that are selling tomatoes. Like me, I've been in Benin for how long now? 3 days, 4 days. I've been walking up and down. You go out, do your own visibility studies. How visible will this be? Can I make it? Will I be able to make it? So you only find out when you go to where people that are selling tomatoes are. You ask them questions. What are their challenges?
You befriend them.
You befriend them. You make them your friend or your customer. You buy. Sometimes, for me, I will buy. Hey, madam, this is your tomato. What of these ones that are broken? Okay. What are you going to do to them? They will tell you how they manage those broken ones. You buy the ones you want to buy, and then you ask questions why you are buying. Tomorrow you come again. Anytime you have chance, you go there.
You go there.
You look around. You may study that one and find out that you can't do it. Maybe because of your house, storage, all of those things. You talk about storage. Where do you buy those tomatoes cheap? Where do you get, how do you store them? Okay, madam, assuming at the end of today, you're unable to sell all of these tomatoes and you've shredded them, how do you manage them? They will tell you. Some of them will even grind the tomato for some customers. They also have other customers that they will blend the tomato for, if you boil it for them. So if you see what, they will tell you what they're doing. You can still add your own.
Why you package it?
Yes, package it, repackage it. I've seen dried tomatoes before, have you?
Dried
I
tomatoes.
have seen dried tomatoes.
That's
I've been
interesting.
dried tatashe. I've seen a lot of dried things, even mango. You've not eaten dried mango before?
No, I haven't.
It's a lot in some. It's a lot some places. They dry it. You can see this is mango. So you ask those questions gradually. You can take 2 weeks, then while you are pleading with your husband, talking to him to allow you. Because some men, the truth, I'm an able woman.
Okay.
Some of our men, no matter how hard it is, they don't want you to do business.
They don't want you to do business. But why? I think it's our women to support each other.
Some of them are,
What?
they feel they don't want their wife to come in contact with strangers.
Oh.
That's
Okay.
the truth. There is obsession. I call it obsession. Some of them
I think
say
it's
it's
insecurity.
Insecurity, and they want to have you all by themselves. They don't want anything to do with outside.
Well, that's for some. I believe some maybe because, okay, I don't want my woman to stress. I don't want to stress my woman anything. Let me be the man and do all the taking care of the bills and everything.
Yes,
that
some
could
are
be
like
another
that.
factor.
Yes, that one. We still have those people like
Yeah.
that no matter how hard it is, they sit down, I'll provide for you. But I'm still telling my fellow women that we can always find our way around all these things. The way you approach your man, the way you talk to him, the way you make him understand that and trust you will make him to let you
Let
go
you go and do what you need
and
to
do
do.
what you need to do to have financial freedom.
Financial freedom. This brings me to my next question. Because, for example, let me say I'm doing something, I'm earning my money, I'm being financially independent, and I'm okay with myself and everything else. How do I not balance my work and then my family?
Assuming you are working.
Let me even ask you directly, how do you as a person, how do you actually handle being a mother, being a wife, and then being an entrepreneur?
It's hard.
Okay, I'm glad you actually said the truth.
But you can always plan it out. And some businesses, you grow to it.
Okay.
Like when you are newly married,
Yeah.
you have small children. There are some kind of businesses you can do. There are some kind of work you can't do. But for myself, I have had restaurant when I was having small children, because I studied and I believed that it's better for me. I can handle my children even inside my restaurant. I always create a place to keep them.
To stay.
That was why I was handling the restaurant, and at least it helped us to a reasonable extent. Now that I can travel anywhere because my children are grown, you know, in life there are phases.
Of course.
So it's left for the person, the woman in question, to think outside the box. What can I do? You don't do things because another person is doing it. Because your position and her position are not the same.
Two different things.
So if you have small children, you can't even work for somebody.
They will definitely disturb.
You will lose that job, except you are occupying a sensitive position that there is no other person to take that position. Today your child is sick. When a child is sick, the mother is also sick.
Of course.
You have to go to hospital. Mentally, you are not okay. So you can't work for another person when you have small children. Not to talk of, you can work for yourself, because if it's too much, you close your shop.
You close your shop. That's quite interesting, actually.
So at that point, when your children are small, I always advise women, get something, get a skill.
Learn something.
Learn something new every
day.
If you are done with hairdressing, move to another one.
Don't stop there.
If you're done with cooking, I started with cooking. I can make nails very well.
Oh, wow.
I can braid very well. At some point when I was starting up, I braided hair very well, and I made some money to start up the restaurant. You understand? So life is not a bed of roses, especially for some of us that are not from a very rosy
home.
background. And if you don't do what you need to do today, you transfer that same poverty to your children. And it becomes a generational thing.
A generational thing, right? And we actually have to put a stop to it.
You have to.
So it's advisable that we learn a skill.
Yes.
No matter the stage you are in, whether you're being married for 2 years or 1 year, or like you mentioned, it's even best to learn before you enter the marriage step. That way you can actually support your home, your husband, and yourself. So I think it's what we'll call it a day. Trust me, I actually enjoyed this episode, and I'm sure you also did. And until next episode of Woman to Woman, I remain yours sincerely, Joy Chirindokmani. Good afternoon.